To talk about Old Home Day, as you know, it's coming up very soon. I just wanted to make sure, I'm not sure what discussions, because obviously I'm still new here, what discussions that have occurred in the past. In the past, you had a volunteer committee that did this, and things, my understanding, went very, very well with that volunteer committee that you have. And now it seems to have transitioned pretty much totally to a staff function. I would ask that that be reconsidered, that we go back to a volunteer group that does this. I think you had a really good product when you had that, a good level of service when you had that. I'm concerned about, I have the same number of people that I had before, now they're doing more tasks, and obviously there's only so much that can be done in with the time frame I have. I've got a part-time recreation director who's very busy in the summertime with the summer recreation program, and I have Kirsten who's dealing with a whole lot of things, including, as you know, a very large number of right-to-know requests, particularly involving the library in this particular case. Hopefully that recedes here soon, but those things are eating up staff time. I just did some quick calculations. You're spending about $100,000 a year, somewhere in that range on a home day. I don't know if you folks realize that's what the total cost is. I know the budget shows $10,000, but the real cost, when you add in the other departments, it's $100,000 or just over $100,000 per year for a multi-day event. Just want to make sure people understand, that's what it costs to put on something of this nature. So something to think about in the future. And I was saying this now because we should be thinking about what we want to do next year. If you're going to have a volunteer committee, they need time to ramp up to decide what events you're going to have, what Old Home Day is going to look like in the future. And obviously costs are, everything that we do, costs are involved, and we should be thinking about what those are and how best to provide the level of service that we provide. So that's what I'm bringing up to you now. Obviously, you are the council and deciding how that's going to go in the future. If it's going to be on staff, I need more staffing is what I'm trying to tell you. If I'm going to continue to try to do this, because I can't provide that level of service for that multiple day event, we're going to have problems. So I just want you to think about that as we go forward, because I really don't want to ask for more money to be able to provide this type of event. If we can do it with volunteers and then staff support, that would be probably the best type of scenario. It seems to have worked very well for you in years past, so I'd ask you to reconsider that. As
the Old Home Day liaison on the town council and talking with Kirsten about how much work goes into this, I fully support the idea of moving it to a volunteer or to a committee.
Ron, I got a question.
Oh, good then. Yeah.
How many staff members are we using right now on this, roughly?
It depends. Obviously, the police department has a certain volume. I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me. He provided that to me. Fire did as well. There's quite a long list. I can send those to you. Probably easier to do that.
Okay.
And then I got the number of staff hours that was provided me by Kirsten, as well as that Doug. So I actually had the number of hours that it takes for those people even to do those functions. I just don't have Dave's because I didn't ask him. But his folks are spending quite a bit of time. And it's a lot of what I call force account labor that we're already paying for. That means they're not doing other things, and they're dedicating it to this.
And then if we decide to go a different route, all right, what should we do to start changing that?
I would think you want a committee to think about that, right? I mean, I shouldn't be telling you that, right? Staff, we should have a committee of volunteers that decides what it's going to look like in the next year. You got a council rep. You folks need to be part of that process. The community needs to be part of that process. What do we want to see? Do we want to continue to spend these amounts of monies? And if we do, so be it. That's a priority, then that's what we do. If we want to have a smaller event or a different type of event, whatever it is, communities do all kinds of different things in our state and across the country.
I guess what I'm looking at is we don't have to make an official motion to say we're going to go volunteer versus town staff.
Certainly not at this point.
Okay.
Because right now the default is that we're going to be running it, and I'm just telling you the impact of that.
Yep.
And what I don't want is things to go bad because I got people stretched in 8 different directions, and it didn't meet the committee's expectations. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm thin on staff to be able to do this and everything else that has to get done.
I think that it's something that the council, Shaun, you're in agreement with this, that we should go volunteer, and we should do it sooner than later, and maybe have Kirsten go out, especially since this is Old Home Day coming up. Be a perfect time if you're there at Town Common to advertise, look for volunteers, for people to maybe join the committee for next year, and ask the questions and say, what's involved? What can I do to help out? And,
Well, at least get their emails.
right.
So that you can say, this is our first meeting, and then you can sign up.
I know you're waiting.
You have
Go
a
ahead,
lot
Kirsten.
on your plate.
Yeah.
You get the master plan thing going to be there.
What is
May
it?
May I respond to that?
Yeah,
real
absolutely.
quickly?
Absolutely.
Well, I deeply understand that would be a wonderful opportunity to do that. Doug and I are already stretched so thin on those days that to the town manager's point, I don't have volunteers to do that. So if somebody could supply me with some help to do that, then I'd be happy to do that. But right now we're
Looks
both
like
in
Deb's
7
volunteering.
different places that day.
Well, I've got a booth. I've got a booth,
Yeah.
not as a counselor, not as a newspaper, but as the Green Team, a nonprofit organization in town teaching sustainability. I'd be more than happy to have it just I'm not going to be able to talk, but a sign-up sheet if you're interested. If you could put the sign-up sheet together,
Yeah.
that would be fantastic, because I would like it on town. It's like not me do it, but the town thingy, and then I could have it there for people to sign, because Beautify Londonderry will be at the booth as well. If that's an option, if you
I
guys.
think it's a great idea. To get
Unless you think that's all a conflict of interest, then I'll
I don't
back
think
out
it's
of it right now.
This community has a lot of volunteers, a lot more than a lot of other communities. But this is one of those areas we just got to decide, because we stretch people, we stretch our volunteers as well. And
Right.
I don't know if that's why you lost some of these volunteers in the past, because of the demand that's involved with that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I wasn't here. What I'm saying is that staff can't do this alone to provide the same level of service.
I understand.
Unless we're going to shrink down the event to a one-day event that's more manageable. And I'm not sure that's what people want. I don't know what people want.
So like Hudson, for example, Old Home Day is a 501c3. They apply for the casino money. They get donations all year, all volunteer. The town does very little to anything. If anything, they pay the town to have the police and the fire and whatever they need there. And their event is 3 days, and they said it was around $100,000.
I don't know, Kirsten, if there's a. Sorry, you're looking at me. I don't know if there's a sheet that you could put together and say, this is what we do to put the parade together. All right. So this is what we do to put the booths together. Just some kind of a guideline, so that people that want to volunteer go, yeah, I'd be interested in helping out the parade, doing this or booths or whatever. Just a thought.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that in anticipation of hoping for a favorable response from the council, Doug and I haven't already been working on that, on
should've known.
transition documents and how to, we've gone entirely digital this year, so all of that is available to pass on to whoever takes over the baton
Awesome.
after this Old Home Day. So
Thank you.
it is being prepared already.
Thank you. Please continue, sir.
Okay, so schedule of budget reports. Q1 will be on October 20th. Q2 will be, and I'll send this out to you, on January 19th. Q3 will be on April 20th. And then we'll also do a unaudited report for the previous year, 2025, on September 22nd. So that'll be unaudited, but at least it'll be pretty close to what we had spent for the total of 2025 budget. So we're going to build these into your schedule on a permanent basis, which is typical of what you see in other communities that have charters in particular, is that their quarterly reports, expenditures and revenues, and what we're projecting with how things look. So we'll add that those will be permanent items on those agendas every
Excellent.
year during that time frame.
That's perfect.
That'll give us the previous quarter, enough time to be able to put the previous quarter's report all together for you. You'll have those.
Question.
Excellent.
Question.
Good. Dan.
I got a question.
Typed out.
It's not because I didn't know what he was going to say. Is that something we can also provide to the budget committee?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. I don't know how often they meet with them and do that.
Right.
I haven't gotten into the details of that.
Yeah.
But normally they would get those budget reports and they would review them as well.
Yeah.
Normally they would get them before you, so they could come in here and talk to you about any concerns that they have.
Right.
So I'm still working through the details about what your process is and your connection with them. I'm used to, in a town, a budget committee that's a little more active in terms of, that's not a criticism of them, but how they do their business, it's usually lined up. So they're interacting with you as well.
Yep.
Or if they choose to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that
Go ahead.
Continue, sir. Yes.
Okay. So the other thing too, the fixed asset management program, I talked to some of you about that, and actually Dan actually sat through one of the presentations that we had on that. So I'm moving forward with that. That's going to be like a 3 to 4 year build out, and I need to get that done. There's a grant opportunity for us on the water and the stormwater and the wastewater side. So I'm moving forward with that. And the idea is that our software programs will be integrated, and I'll talk more about the permitting program. Because as you know, it's basically a paper program right now, and we don't have the efficiencies. We can't track, and the resident can't track where their application is. And I get those complaints all the time. And other communities around you have already done this. And in fact, we're way behind. Communities started doing fixed asset management 20 years ago. In the town of Allenstown, which is much smaller than us here, and much has fewer resources, did this 16 years ago. In terms of getting their system into ViewWorks, where they're tracking all their assets. We can project out what roads are going to be done next, and what those costs are going to be based on what we do. If we're going to do crack filling and those sorts of things, that reduces that long-term cost, and I can show you 5-year projections. I can't do any of that right now. It's desperately needed for a whole lot of reasons, and we'll get into those. We're actually planning on making a presentation to you so you can see how the system works. That'll be in September. But I'm moving forward on to get that done, and because again, there's like a 3 to 4 year total build out for that, and I need to make some progress on that. And that's going to be the backbone of everything else that we do in terms of permitting, and then replacing our ERP program. And again, they're going to be able to talk to each other, which right now our systems, to the extent we have them, don't even talk to each other. No. And that's all I have, unless there's questions of me.
I have one
questions?
comment on that last one. I think when I sat in on that, that was very informational. It was great. It's exactly what the town needs. So I would encourage any of the counselors, if you have an opportunity, to sit in on any of these things that the town manager invites you in, to please do so. Because it just helps you when you come in here and get the presentation given to you. You're aware, you have much more knowledge to make that decision.
I know that some of you have day jobs. Not that Dan doesn't, but he has more flexibility.
There he is again.
He has some more flexibility, so that's why I'm coming to make a presentation, because you just can't get out of work during the daytime. So we're gonna come here to do that.
There's Zoom, you guys.
He
You can
has
Zoom.
flexibility. That's what he has. I know he works, but he has flexibility.
He does yoga.
Yeah.
Assistant Town Manager report.
All set, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Open to public comment. Seeing none, I will close public comment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I will accept the motion. Dan, I heard a motion from Dan to adjourn.
Second.
We'll have a second from Deb. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes to the affirmative.